Some structures around the world are so mysterious that today's engineers still cannot figure out how they were built. They rise from striking landscapes, blending human ambition with a sense of the impossible. Others are steeped in history, standing for centuries, while their construction techniques remain unsolved mysteries. These structures are unique masterpieces, defined by extraordinary design and the enigmatic skills of those who built them. Today, we begin a journey to uncover the world's most unbelievable buildings, marvels that challenge our understanding of architecture and engineering. Meteora includes monasteries built on natural rock pillars more than 1,300 feet high, with steep surfaces hard to reach by regular means. In ancient times, materials were lifted to the top using pulleys, rope ladders, and baskets, but how people first accessed the rocks remains unclear. Some areas inside the monasteries are not open to researchers, and most old documents have not been published or digitized. Before the monasteries, there were signs of reclusive groups living in this region, but their identity and disappearance are still unknown. Despite natural and historical challenges, much of the architecture at Meteora still preserves its original 14th century design. The combination of religious buildings with vertical rock formations has created a site that is difficult to replicate anywhere else. Stonehenge is an ancient stone structure located in a wide plain made of huge stones aligned with the solar cycle. Moving these stones from faraway places and standing them upright with precise angles raises questions about prehistoric engineering. To this day, its true purpose is unclear because no written records explain why it was built or by whom. The culture that constructed it disappeared without leaving clear traces, making it hard to trace any social continuity. Excavation of the entire site is restricted due to concerns about damaging intact archaeological layers beneath the ground. Dating results show that the structure has existed for over 4,000 years, with multiple phases of modification and use during the Stone and Bronze Ages. The pyramids of Giza stand on a vast limestone plateau on the western edge of the Nile, contrasting the golden desert with sharp-edged monumental geometry. Their beauty lies in perfect proportions and precisely angled sides, once polished to reflect sunlight like mirrors. In the 5th century BCE, Greek mathematician Herodotus visited the site and recorded its construction, sparking centuries of debate. The pyramid's original purpose remains uncertain. Some believe they were royal tombs. Others suggest astronomical or spiritual functions. Construction methods are still mysterious, as multi-ton stones fit together precisely without mortar. No clear explanation exists for how ancient builders transported such materials over long distances. Kailasa Temple was carved from top to bottom directly into a massive rock wall, forming an entire structure that remains connected to its original stone base. The total volume of rock removed to create the temple reached hundreds of thousands of tons, yet no records describe how it was done. Many carvings inside the temple are highly precise and arranged in three-dimensional space, but it remains unclear how their locations were planned from the outside. No design drawings, technical records, or labor organization documents have survived, limiting further research. Although the full identity of the builders is unknown, remaining details show this was the work of a society with advanced technical and religious development around the 8th century. The Great Wall of China is an ancient structure that stretches across many difficult terrains, from high mountains to semi-desert areas, forming a line connected to the natural landscape. Sections of the wall curve along the mountain ridges, with weathered stones that have become symbols of strength and durability. The legend of Meng Jiangnu, walking hundreds of miles to find her husband forced to build the wall, and her cry causing a collapse, reflects the human story behind its construction. Although considered a defensive line, many segments are not in strategic military locations, leading researchers to believe it also served to control population movement and display imperial power. The construction techniques varied by region, using stone, brick, or tamped earth. Castel Follet de la Roca was built on top of a long, narrow basalt cliff about 160 feet above the valley floor, surrounded by 2 rivers. The location forms an almost vertical wall, with the entire village stretched across a natural stone platform over 300 feet long. The houses are built closely along the edge, with foundations extended sideways to balance on the narrow base. A small landslide in the late 19th century caused 3 edge homes to collapse, but the others remained stable due to dense basalt and cross-footing design. No old records explain why such a narrow and risky location was chosen for settlement, and the original purpose is still unknown. Technically, the drainage system was cut into sloped rock surfaces, allowing rainwater to flow away quickly without eroding the basalt base. The Golden Bridge was built on a high mountain area where fog and strong winds are common, creating a landscape with drifting clouds and views over vast forests. The bridge features a golden walkway supported by 2 giant hands shaped like ancient stone, drawing attention due to its unusual architecture and bold proportions. During construction, all materials, such as steel and concrete, were transported to an elevation of several thousand feet through steep terrain and constantly changing weather. Although announced as a sightseeing spot, many believe the hand design holds symbolic meaning, though the architect has not fully explained the original concept. The main bridge uses steel columns drilled deep into the mountainside, while the hands are made of steel frames covered with fiberglass mesh and a faux stone layer for a light but aesthetic finish. Angkor Wat is a massive, ancient complex deep in Cambodia's jungle, remarkable not only for its scale, but for engineering mysteries still unsolved. The greatest puzzle lies in how millions of stone blocks were transported across rivers and forests without traces of roads or tools. Its precise water systems, canals, reservoirs, and moats are aligned with celestial events, reflecting advanced knowledge of climate and hydrology. Many symbolic carvings match star patterns, though their full meanings remain elusive. Certain corridors exhibit acoustic resonance effects at intersections, phenomena not replicated by modern methods. The entire site represents a rare blend of architecture, astronomy, and engineering that still challenges scientific understanding. Katski Pillar is a nearly vertical limestone column, about 130 feet tall, standing alone among mountains and forest, fully separated from the surrounding ground. At the top is a small structure, including a chapel, living area, and open space, all within less than 2,000 square feet. These buildings were made from hand-carved stone, with tile roofs and wooden railings, and have stayed stable for centuries. Some believe it was used for isolated religious ceremonies to show separation from everyday life. Petra is an ancient city carved directly into red sandstone cliffs, with many large facades but interiors that have not been fully excavated. Major structures like temples and tombs appear behind narrow mountain passages, making the site feel hidden by natural terrain. Important details about the water systems and residential areas remain buried under sand and have not been accessed due to harsh climate and complex landscape. Research is difficult because natural erosion, is slowly erasing the original shapes of the stone buildings. Very few historical records remain, and they do not explain the cause or timeline of the collapse of this long-lasting empire. Wangshan Valley is a deep limestone valley with an enclosed terrain surrounded by vertical cliffs about 800 feet high and layered caves not fully explored. Some caves in the area have no known endpoint, and many cracks are still not mapped to where they lead inside the mountain. Earlier surveys found pottery fragments and traces of ancient settlement, but no clear information exists about the identity or culture of the former residents. Certain parts of the valley are now closed to entry due to preservation concerns and geological instability, making full surveys difficult. The valley's isolated location and complex natural conditions have caused research and access efforts to be delayed many times over the past decades. Phukto Monastery was built on a vertical limestone cliff in the Himalayas, with its structure following the steep rock slope to form a solid complex. The monastery surrounds a natural cave once used by ancient masters, and no written records exist about how the structure was originally built. A stream flowing through the cave provides the only water source for the monastery, a rare feature among high-altitude religious buildings. For many centuries, the monastery has been guarded by the resident monks and has remained untouched by outside influence. The Banyat Towers sit on a gentle hillside along Vietnam's central coast, offering wide views of the plains and nearby wetlands. The standout feature is the Cham-style architecture combined with individually arranged towers, decorated with twisted and symmetrical baked brick carvings. During a restoration project in the early 20th century, French experts noted that many bricks remained firmly in place without any mortar, puzzling engineers. Interestingly, no clear records exist about the original names or functions of the towers, raising questions about whether the site served as a religious center or an ancient observatory. Some internal features align with the sunrise axis, but researchers have not fully confirmed the intended design purpose. The interlocking brick techniques and corner joints have allowed the towers to withstand regional storms and seismic tremors. The monastery was built on a vertical cliff about 250 feet high, with a deep valley in front and solid rock rising behind it. The entire structure is supported by wooden beams embedded in the rock and connected with wooden joints without using metal nails. The monastery includes several small buildings, narrow corridors, and wooden bridges, all linked seamlessly, forming one unified structure suspended in the air. One special feature is that it honors three major ancient Chinese religions at the same time, which is very rare in traditional religious architecture. The original purpose of the monastery is still unknown, with some theories suggesting it was built to avoid flooding or for reclusive religious life. Historically, this structure was highly praised by a Tang dynasty emperor, who ordered it preserved as a respected cultural monument. The Colosseum in Rome is not only a Roman Empire symbol, but also showcases advanced engineering with features still not fully understood. Its radial corridors and stairways allowed over 5,000 spectators to enter and exit quickly without crowding. Below the arena lies a hidden system of elevators and platforms, powered by gravity and mechanics, without engines or electricity. Its foundation was built with vibration-absorbing materials, dispersing force from thousands of moving spectators. Arched ceilings and column arrangements evenly distributed weight, preserving stability for centuries. Though the canopy is gone, the original retractable shading system remains a debated mystery among researchers. Dixie Monastery in India is an impressive Buddhist architectural complex located on a hilltop, featuring natural beauty harmonized with surrounding majestic mountains. What makes Dixie mysterious is the lack of official records about its construction, time, and development process over many centuries, leaving much of its history unexplained. The greatest mystery is the disappearance of many ancient civilizations that once existed in the Tibetan region and surroundings, where Dixie is believed to be an important religious center, but ancient cultural traces are unclear. Research on this monastery is limited due to its difficult geographical access and strict control by religious organizations and local authorities, restricting archaeological surveys and historical studies. Dixie Monastery holds deep historical value, built and maintained since the 15th century, symbolizing Tibetan Buddhist tradition and playing a significant role in the spiritual cultural life of this region. One Pillar Pagoda is a unique Vietnamese structure built on a single stone pillar standing in the middle of a lotus pond, resembling a lotus rising from water. This design is fully asymmetrical with only one chamber, differing from most traditional temples in the region. The legend of King Li Tai Tong dreaming of the goddess of mercy has not been confirmed by solid historical evidence. Some theories suggest the pagoda inherited its form from an ancient religious structure that disappeared without leaving enough material traces. Due to historical upheavals, many original design records were lost, making it hard to study the initial construction. Although it has been reconstructed several times, dating results and scattered records show it is over 1,000 years old, reflecting Buddhist influence and royal power during the Lai dynasty. Crazy House was built on a hillside in Vietnam's southern highlands, where layered terrain and ancient rock allow for anchoring foundations in separated structural blocks. Unlike any other structure in the region, its entire design resembles a massive tree trunk, with twisting hallways, slanted staircases, and curved roofs without symmetry. Notably, architect Dang Viet Nga did not use a fixed blueprint, but adjusted the design during each construction phase. Records show the project was once halted for failing to follow traditional construction codes, but later resumed after being considered a form of free-form art. Many concrete sections were poured manually and sculpted while still moist to resemble roots or cave formations. To date, no full analysis has been published on how load is distributed within this non-axial, gridless architectural system. Lower Citadel lies in the Red River Delta and is known for its 3 massive spiral-shaped earth walls surrounding the central area. Each wall follows an irregular, winding path, forming a complex defense layout that modern simulations have yet to fully replicate. In 1963, archaeologists uncovered mass-produced bronze arrowheads, suggesting this area once hosted military training and weapons manufacturing. A major mystery lies in how ancient builders compacted and layered the earth without mortar, while still achieving lasting structural stability. No other ancient land-based fortification in Southeast Asia rivals its scale or complexity. Folklore speaks of An Duong Vuong's mythical crossbow, implying possible advanced military technology, though researchers continue to seek verifiable evidence. Chaco Canyon is a massive desert canyon in the American Southwest, featuring towering sandstone cliffs and deeply eroded plains shaped by ancient forces. Its harsh and empty terrain creates a surreal atmosphere, leaving many to wonder how a complex society once thrived in such an arid landscape. The ruins include massive stone buildings aligned with celestial patterns, leading to theories that it served as a spiritual or astronomical center of a vanished civilization. The community's sudden disappearance remains unexplained, with no clear signs of war, disease, or natural disaster to account for their decline. Some parts of the canyon are restricted for research, and key archaeological findings have yet to be publicly released, fueling further speculation. Despite the mystery, surviving structures prove that Chaco Canyon was once a vibrant cultural hub, with influence across the western regions over 1,000 years ago. The Geralta region in Ethiopia is known for its majestic steep rock landscapes and ancient rock-hewn churches perched precariously on cliff faces, creating a distinctive and unique natural beauty. The mystery of Geralta arises from many stone architectural structures that have not been thoroughly studied, along with a lack of clear historical records about their origins and construction purposes. An even greater mystery is the disappearance of ancient civilizations that once lived and developed in this area, causing many cultural traces to be lost or insufficiently preserved. Research in Geralta is limited due to the difficult terrain and strict protection regulations by local authorities, making archaeological surveys and studies hard to access. Geralta holds important historical value, with rock churches built from approximately the 4th to the 15th century, serving as evidence of religious traditions and unique architecture of the Ethiopian people over many centuries. Masule was built on a steep mountain slope, where houses are stacked so that the roof of one serves as the courtyard for the one above. Height differences between buildings range from 10 to 40 feet, requiring horizontal foundation extensions and reinforced stone walls to adapt to the incline. A landslide in the early 20th century swept part of the lower slope, but most houses remained intact due to foundations anchored in bedrock. No old documents explain why such a steep site was chosen for settlement, and the origin of this tiered architecture remains debated. Local tradition says the layout was designed to maximize space and light while providing natural defense during past conflicts. Drainage was handled through multiple levels and built-in wall channels, preventing water buildup and erosion during the long rainy season. Bow-hanging coffins are ancient wooden coffins placed on vertical cliffs around 100 to 130 feet above the ground. How these heavy coffins were lifted to such heights is still unknown, since there are no signs of ladders, pulleys, or scaffolding. The coffin sites are often dangerous to reach, and many areas are restricted from direct study. The Bow people, who practiced this burial method, disappeared without leaving clear records of their culture or society. Researchers still do not fully understand why these people chose to bury their dead on cliffs instead of underground. Abuna Yamata-gu is a church carved directly into a nearly vertical rock face, located at about 8,200 feet high and reachable only by climbing narrow, slippery paths without railings. The interior is sculpted from solid rock, with murals painted using natural pigments that have remained visible for many centuries. No fixed stairs or modern support systems have been found, suggesting that building this structure required advanced technical knowledge. Air vents and light openings were carved in precise positions, allowing the space to stay naturally ventilated and lit. To this day, no official document has confirmed the founder or original purpose of the structure.